In a podcast that is coming out called Huddle and Flow, which drops later today, Jim Trotter, at @JimTrotter_NFL, is reporting that he firmly believes that Deshaun Watson will be traded after having this or hearing this conversation with Texans head coach David Culley, who kept using terms like on the roster right now, and we want guys who are all in. So the plot thickens down in H-Town. People are saying that this Houston Texans press conference of head coach David Culley has been a nightmare.
That's it.
Culley. David Culley. Yeah. Now, he might pronounce his
Coach
C
Dave.
like Casario.
Yeah, it could be so.
Could be Casario. I'm not 100% sure. But Coach David Culley had a press conference. This follows him being on a podcast with Steve Weich. By the way, his podcast is crushing it right now. Congrats, Steve. You absolutely deserve it. We should get, I think it's Huddle and Flow is the name of the podcast. Congrats to Steve and everybody over there. He was on there talking and using terms that basically said, you know, the players that are on our team right now, and we want people that are all in. So everybody feels as if Coach David Culley is okay with moving on from Deshaun Watson. So does this mean that he is being told by Casario, Easterby, and the boys up there, Cal McNair, that they're going to move on? Or is this David Culley being like, hey, I got no chance of winning here if this quarterback doesn't want to play. We could probably get 3 picks for this thing. We can get better really quick and turn this thing around and start anew. Is that what he's doing, or you think this is a calculated thing from above where they are potentially opening up to the idea of trading Deshaun Watson?
I mean, I would assume it's somewhat calculated from the top. I don't know how involved Culley is. Maybe he probably has an idea, but he's been there for what, 2 months, a month now? Like, can he really ask him, like, hey, man, are you guys, you hired me basically to be the bad guy or something, or to get Deshaun out of here? Like, I'd have some questions if I was Culley, but it's a tough first head coaching gig, I guess, to step into.
Yeah, because I guess it came out a couple weeks ago that Coach David Culley and Deshaun Watson had a sit down, and I would assume that was via Zoom. I'm not 100% sure. And on the other side of it, it was reported, and we're not saying that this has happened. We were not fucking there, so do not come after me for this if this is wrong. But it was reported that there was no resolve in that conversation. Deshaun said basically like, hey, not your fault, pal. Okay, this isn't you. This is much higher. I'm out, though. And Coach David was like, all right, we'll move on, I guess. But I'm intrigued because they're still saying that they're not answering calls. The Miami Dolphins are in an interesting situation. B-Flow said, hey, we might bring back Ryan Fitzmagic. We might go ahead and try to do that after cutting Kyle Van Noy. They have 3 picks very early in this year's draft that could probably do the trick to get Deshaun Watson out of the Houston Texans organization to Miami, plus some other things in there. That would be a way for the Houston Texans to rebuild quickly because they get their pillar players in there, whoever they want. It would give the Miami Dolphins a quarterback that they could believe in. I'd assume Tua would potentially go over there. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen, but the narrative has been that they're not answering the phone calls. Maybe now they're answering.
They're going to have to answer eventually. Like, are we seeing, like, is this the Texans, is their ego getting in the way up in the front office to where they want to make it their idea and don't want to look like they got pushed around from one of their players and set a bad precedent?
You know, when you used to stand in front of a car and play chicken?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still do. Yeah.
I don't know if you should be a coach of elementary school.
Yeah, Lord.
What are we doing?
Sounds like a practice.
But I think it's a stare down here, you know? This is very public. I think it's Deshaun and his team, and then it's, you know, Cal McNair and Easterby. They think this is very public. If they were to do that, then they lose, right? But really, they lose either way. So they're kind of fucked. They got to figure it out.